All right, let's talk about something that trips up so many Spanish learners: indirect object pronouns. Do they feel like this impossible puzzle you just can't solve? Well, you're in the right place. In just the next few minutes, we're going to turn that confusion into confidence. Let's dive in.
We're going to tackle this in 5 simple steps. First, we'll cover the what and the who. Then we'll figure out where they go in a sentence and how to actually use them. And to wrap it all up, you'll get a chance to put your new skills to the test. Sound good?
Okay, first things first. The what? Before we can start using these things, we have to understand what they are. And luckily, it all comes down to one really simple question. This right here is the secret sauce, the golden key. To find the indirect object in any sentence, all you gotta ask is, to whom or for whom is the action being done? Seriously, commit this question to memory. It's gonna be your new best friend in Spanish.
So, what is an indirect object pronoun, or IOP, technically? It's just a tiny little word that stands in for the answer to our big question. It's a shortcut, really. It lets us change a sentence like, I give a gift to Juan, into something much shorter and more natural.
All right, so we know what they are. Now let's meet the actual pronouns you'll be using, the whole cast of characters, if you will.
And here they are. Me, te, le, nos, os, les. They look simple, right? Each one answers that to whom or for whom question. Me is just to or for me. Te is to or for you. You see the pattern. It's pretty straightforward. Until you get to le and les. They can be a little tricky because they can mean a few different things.
And this is the pro tip for handling that trickiness. If you just say, le doy un regalo, well, who are you giving it to? Him? Her? It's kind of vague. But if you add a Juan at the end, le doy un regalo a Juan. Boom. Crystal clear. It's a fantastic little trick that Spanish speakers use all the time.
Okay, let's tackle what is probably the biggest headache for most learners. Where the heck do you put these little words in a sentence? It can seem random, but I promise it's not. The good news? There are really just 4 simple rules to learn.
Let's walk through them. Rule number 1, and this is the one you'll see most often. It goes right before the main conjugated verb, like in me da un libro. Rule 2, if you have an infinitive, you can just glue the pronoun right onto the end. So voy a dar becomes voy a darle. Rule 3 is the exact same idea but for gerunds. So está explicando becomes está explicándome. And finally, Rule 4, for positive commands, you also stick it on the end, like in dame.
Now hold on, there's one little twist you gotta watch out for, and it's with commands. With a positive command, we just saw the pronoun gets attached, dummy. But look what happens when we make it negative. For don't give me, the pronoun suddenly jumps to the front, no me des. It's a small change, but it's absolutely crucial.
Okay, enough with the rules and theory. Let's get to the fun part. Let's see how this all actually works in real life with some super common verbs.
You'll find that some verbs are basically best friends with these pronouns. Think about verbs that involve giving, telling, or sending something to someone. Verbs like dar, decir, enviar, and explicar almost always have a recipient, which means they almost always need an indirect object.
Let's look at some full sentences. Check out the first one. Mi madre me prepara el desayuno. Ask the question, for whom does she prepare breakfast? For me, so we use me. How about the next one? El profesor nos explícalo. To whom does he explain? To us, so we use nos. See, once you get the hang of asking that key question, it starts to click. All right, you've seen the what, the who, the where, and the how. Now it's your turn to flex those new Spanish muscles. Let's do a quick knowledge check. Don't worry, it's not for a grade. Okay, here's the first one. We have the sentence, yo blank doy un regalo a mi madre. So I give a gift a mi madre, to my mother. Which pronoun are you going to pop in there to mean to her?
And the answer is le. Yo le doy un regalo a mi madre. Le stands for to her. And notice that helpful little a mi madre at the end for total clarity. Perfect.
Let's do one more. The sentence is, tú, flank, explicas la lección a mí? So, you explain the lesson to me. Which pronoun means to me?
You got it, it's me. ¿Tú me explicas la lección? And what's cool here is that because me is so specific, you don't even really need that a mí at the end. It's already crystal clear. Great job.
So let's wrap this up with a quick recap. First, that awesome tip. Use a plus a person to make sure everyone knows who lay and less are talking about. Second, burn those 4 placement rules into your brain. And third, and this is the big one, just practice. Now that you know what you're looking for, I promise you're going to start seeing these little pronouns everywhere.
And that is pretty much the whole story. We've taken the mystery out of indirect object pronouns. We've gone from the basic idea all the way to how they work in real sentences. So the only real question left is, are you ready to try these out in your next Spanish conversation? I think you are. Go for it.